Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. I want to give a special shout out and say thank you to our friends at the treatment facility that we visited last night. It was absolutely by far one of the most memorable meetings I have ever been a part of. So if you're watching this morning, thank you guys for letting us come in and hang out. Thank you guys for letting us be sober with you on a Tuesday night. One of the last topics we talked about last night was about meetings, and we're going to be talking about meetings and different components of meetings over the next several days. But I wanted to use this as an opportunity to segue into that. And in order to set the stage and kind of paint the picture for you, so to speak, all I had ever wanted to do in my life was to provide meaning and purpose to others, to give meaning and purpose to others, to enrich the lives of others. But how could I do that if I couldn't even do that for myself? How can I give you something that I myself, I don't even have? How can I make you feel good about yourself if I don't feel good about me? And see, that was the thing. I hated who I'd become. Matter of fact, I hated the fact that I had allowed myself to become the thing that I hated. So it was like double whammy. I hated the fact that my life was absolutely a shit show. I hated the fact that I couldn't stop a simple bottle of alcohol from being poured down my throat by my own hand. It wasn't like somebody did it for me. I hated the fact that I had allowed all these things that I allowed myself to become all these things that I hated. I had no love, no self-love, no self-respect, no self-value, no self-worth. I had all these feelings of inadequacy and all these insecurities. I absolutely loathed who I was. And so what did I do? I hid. Matter of fact, I hid in plain sight. While still trying to be part of society, while still trying to function like a semi-normal person in my community, I still hid. I hid in plain sight. I didn't want people to see me. I didn't want people to see me through the way that I saw myself. And so I would hide in a press box. Yeah, a press box. See, I would announce baseball and local baseball and local softball games, and I felt like I could enrich people's lives and make people laugh, make people feel good by my voice, as long as they couldn't see me. Because if they saw me, they would see my insecurities, they would see my imperfections, they would see my inadequacies, and trust me, I was always afraid they would judge me and they would criticize me and ridicule me. I had a monopoly on that. Trust me, I took care of all that myself. And looking back, people never thought that. But in my head, they did. In my head, they judged me, they criticized me, they ridiculed me. And if anybody was going to do that, it was going to be me. I had a monopoly on beating myself up. And so I hid. I hid in a press box. People could hear me, they just couldn't see me. And I wanted it that way. That way they couldn't see me the way that I saw myself. They just couldn't. And so in 2023, September 2023, I went in front of my entire town. Where we had a big event going on. And I remember I got out there. It was in the park where I used to announce these baseball games and softball games. And I got out there and I told everybody, you heard my voice. You heard my voice, so many nights throughout the year down at this baseball field in the press box. But inside that press box, I was miserable. I hated who I was. I hated who I'd become. You heard me suffer in silence. That's why I was in. I sat in that press box and I suffered in silence. And now I don't have to suffer in silence. And I was able to share that with my community and my town back in 2023. I'd been sober for a couple of years at that point. And it was just so inspiring. It's just such a milestone for me in my recovery. But that's what I wanted to share with you today is you may be suffering in silence. You may be trying to hide. You may be trying to hide in plain sight, just trying to fly under the radar. We all have this innate desire that we want to belong, but yet we don't feel like we're worthy of belonging. We don't feel like we're loved enough because we can't love ourselves. And I know what that's like. I've been there. Like I said, I suffered in that press box, not wanting to be seen by anybody because I was afraid they were going to judge me. I was afraid they were going to point out the same things I'd been pointing out. You don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer in silence alone. Matter of fact, the good news is you don't have to suffer at all. That's where meetings are important. I get to hang out with people who understand my problem. They understand. It may not be exactly the same problems that they have, but they understand the challenges that I'm facing, the things that I'm going through, the thoughts that are going through my head. They know. They can relate, and I can talk to them. I can leverage their experience their own personal experience to try to help my own experience. And quite frankly, a lot of times when you're talking to them, you're helping them as well. You don't have to suffer in silence, and you sure as hell don't have to suffer at all, but you got to get connected with people. And that's where meetings are vitally important. That's what we try to do. That's our only purpose in Crosstalk. And we'll be talking about Crosstalk in the next several days for sure. But that's all we try to do at any meeting, it doesn't matter what kind of meeting it is. You're in a room full of people who have figured out how to solve the very problem that you yourself are trying to solve at that moment. Get plugged in, get connected, and stay tuned to listen to what they're saying. Take their suggestions, try them out. If they don't work, okay, go back and ask for another. Find another suggestion from someone else. Those meetings allowed me to realize that I didn't have to suffer alone, and I sure as hell didn't have to suffer at all. I want to encourage you today, find a group of meetings, find a set of meetings, find a group of people. Hell, start your own fucking meeting. Just sit around with folks at the IHOP or the Waffle House or wherever and talk, share, exchange. Remember, something my sponsor always says, a problem shared is a problem cut in half. And you can't share that problem fully without people who understand where you're at. Find like-minded people, get plugged in, get connected to the rooms, find a meeting that works for you. And again, just to as a preface, we're going to be talking a lot about meetings over the next several days. So that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I cannot be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to have discussed, feel free to drop it into an email to me, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it, see what we can do. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.